All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Hopefully you guys are doing great out there, living it up, popping bottles. I'm just kidding.
Is that what you do?
I don't even know where that came from, guys. Man, I'm telling you.
You miss those days?
No, I do not. I really don't.
Really quick story, guys. This guy, I'd probably say we're like 22 to 25. This guy would probably go out to like San Francisco and at least get a table or have all of our friends pitch in at least like once a month.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Popping bottles.
What's wrong with that?
You thought you were the shit?
No, not at all. No, it was just fun. During that time, I look back at it, probably should have been, well, no, I was a hard worker and this was on the weekends. I don't care.
It was fun. There's nothing to regret about it.
Nice little balance. But no,
it's actually a good segue of like happiness and what makes you happy.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about that today.
Like, you know.
Hopefully that doesn't make you happy
nothing,
right now, to be honest. But like,
yeah, but nothing I miss or wish that I would be doing right now. I couldn't even keep up with that. I get tired at like 10 o'clock. I want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Turn into old man. Okay. So let's jump into today's episode, guys. So today we're going to be talking about the big 4 factors of happiness. So this will be interesting. I think this will be really good too for some of you guys that are just not feeling fulfilled right now. Maybe you guys are in a season of struggle, of adversity, and maybe there's fear, uncertainty, and doubt, like we talk about that you're going through. All of us are battling something, right? Like I've said, like every day we go to war with ourselves and our minds and our emotions, and but there's ways out of it. So we're here to just give you guys some hope and talk about some stuff that we know, and hopefully it resonates with you and you guys can apply it. But before we get to the show, there's a quick fee to the show, nothing monetary. But if you guys want to sit there and, donate some money and be generous, that's cool with us too.
I'll take it. Go to Baby Zane's college fund.
Yeah, there you go. Go to Chris's son's college fund. But no, it's, gosh, I can't even think. So yeah, just if you guys found value in the show, just please leave us a rating and review. That's all we ask for. We show up every single week for you guys. It's Chris and I coming on the show, or we have great guests come on and just share a lot of wisdom and experience and just give you guys a lot of stuff. So yeah, just please leave us a rating and review or just share it out on your socials, and that helps us out. So that's really it. That's the fee.
In all honesty, I don't want your guys' money for Baby Zane's trust fund or college fund, whatever it is. All right, let's get into this. All right. So the big 4 factors of happiness. So to put some context around this discussion. So I got this from Ty Lopez's podcast, and we also got this too, just from being around him in his business builder. I think I talked about this in another podcast. We were in his, business builder program for about a year in 2017 and 2018. It was a $25,000 mastermind. It was there in Beverly Hills, where you can go to his mansion 4 times out of that whole entire year that you're in the business builder. It was an amazing experience. I'm not going to get into the whole thing. I think we did a podcast on that, but it was an amazing experience and tons of things that we learned from that. So I got this big 4 factors of happiness from his podcast he just recently did. And then also just some of the lessons that we learned from being in his business builder program. Okay. Mm-hmm. The first question I just want to ask you too, before I get into this, with happiness, man, I don't want to sit there and mislead anybody that's listening to this to where they think that you and I are happy every single damn day, that you are entitled to live a happy life every single damn day, that there is a magic formula that you are going to be able to live a happy life every single damn day. I guess the question I'm trying to ask you is just like, what is your kind of view on happiness, man? Day-to-day happiness.
Yeah, that's
I know it's not an easy thing to answer, because I struggle with it too.
It's tough, and for me, I talked about this on a recent podcast about like frustration. Like I wake up every day frustrated, but what grounds me is, reading the word, devoting my time to just like getting my mind right and, putting God first. And that puts me at ease to where it's like I can go play spiritual offense and offense in my business and help and serve people. Mm-hmm. But happiness, I don't know. Like, I don't know if true happiness really exists. I think there's different forms of happiness. I think there's different, days where you're happy. I think there's different months, seasons where you're truly happy and fulfilled. But to say you're happy every single day, I don't know about that. The way I like to reframe myself, reframe my mindset, and my perspective is like, I'd rather put myself in a state of gratitude every single day. Yeah. I think that you could always be in a state of gratitude for the smallest things, for waking up, for having breath in your lungs, for just moving. I could go on and on, like for what you could be grateful for. And anyone that wants to challenge that by any means, please, let's go on that. But to me, that's what matters more, is like put myself in a state of gratitude for all the little things, you know, because I know it can get taken away in a blink of an eye. I've seen it before, even with our father. So, yeah, I don't know. Happiness, it's tough, man. Like, I just think that you have spurts of happiness, like days you're happy, you know, just moments,
Agreed.
you know, accomplishments, you know, relationships, family, kids, you know, and I think that's really just the way I would just approach that question.
That's good, man. And I'll kind of give you my take on this and then we'll jump into this, but I just want to give the listeners a little bit of context on this. I like this right here from the United States Declaration of Independence. And this part says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay. So life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's the key part, is pursuit of happiness. So it's not saying that you are entitled, that you deserve, that you are guaranteed to happiness in the Independence of Declaration, does it? It says that pursuit. What pursuit means is you are able to sit there and work for that happiness or pursue it somehow. And it's like you said, like, good luck thinking you're going to be happy 365 days out of the year, right? You're just not. I think it does go in waves and in phases, you know? And again, we've talked about this before with happiness, that even in the Bible, it says that you're not supposed to be happy every single day. Life is not easy.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be hard. You're going to be tested with a lot of battles. So I'm just trying to get you guys to just like understand some context around happiness. Okay. That Eric and I are not happy every single damn day. Right. And I don't feel like I deserve or I'm entitled to be happy every single damn day. I just don't, you know?
Really quick, like what came to my mind when you said Pursuit of Happiness, that movie with Will Smith and his little boy, it's called The Pursuit of Happiness. Really good movie, but it just shows in that movie that like every day it's a struggle. Like he's not always happy, but he's grateful for what he has, like his son, and everything he's doing, all the struggles he's going through, trying to get a better career, it's for his son. So I think that if you guys make life about other people and not yourself, to me, that's going to bring more happiness, joy, fulfillment in your guys' life.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we got that kind of like going. Again, this isn't going to be a perfect podcast where I have everything lined up for you guys, okay? But you will find some value in this.
There's no such thing as perfection.
That's a whole nother thing, right? Let's talk about this first, though, before I get into the big 4 factors of happiness and give you guys like really like the key tangible things that helps me, you know, I guess be more happier. I think you guys will find a lot of value in that. You guys can take what you want, but I think also there's regret. And I think when people have regret, that leads to unhappiness. So I want to talk about these 4 top regrets. And I got this from the book. It's called Power of Regret by Daniel Pink. Okay. Power of Regret by Daniel Pink. And there's studies on like this stuff that I'm going to tell you guys, right? So it's not like I just made this up or it's not just anecdotal. There is studies on this from Daniel Pink's book. If you guys want to pick it up and look at the references, totally fine. But it's the 4 top regrets. And I think that, you know, if you can avoid these regrets, I think then your pursuit of happiness is going to be a lot better. Okay. So the top 4 regrets that lead to unhappiness. Number 1, who you marry. Number 2, your career or your education. Number 3, where you live. And number 4, your social life and relationships. Okay. So who you marry, got to think about that. You know, is there regret to where who you're spending your most of your time with your significant other and who you chose to be able to marry? I think there is people that make a wrong decision with that, whether it's through cultural, whether it's through something with society, whether it's rushing into it too much. There's so many different things, right? That could be a whole podcast itself. But I do think that people do regret who they marry with their significant others and spend their most time with that person,
Absolutely.
right? The next thing is like career education. Would you say that, you know, break that down a little bit for them, like with career and education, why people would regret that?
Yeah, that's just because, again, like you could go down like a career path or let's say going to school just because like that was the thing to do, the status quo, or your family pressured you into it. Like, let's say like people that are raised in like families of like doctors or engineers and stuff, right? They feel the pressure that like they have to sit there and fulfill those shoes and take that same path as like the mom or the dad. And that's not necessarily true. So what that leads to is like regret, resentment against parents, and just like ultimately just like they've lost so much time in their life to where it's like they don't know where to start and how to get that light that fire again. But yeah, or they just don't sit there and put in the work to sit there and build the necessary skill sets to acquire more knowledge and wisdom, hire mentors, self-education. You know, that's to me what that all speaks.
Yeah. And we've heard this so many times from like actual coaches in our program, right? To where they're coming out of a career change. They went into a career of
or
like,
it's because you're chasing money. You're doing careers for the wrong reason.
Or security or something like that, right? But man, like you see the regret to where it's like they are so fed up with it because it doesn't excite them. There's no meaning. There's no impact behind it.
Yeah.
So I know there's regret in that when they made that career decision and choice, right?
Dude, really quick, I can't tell you how many people I talk to, like on calls, like, you know, like that are good fits for our program to see if they're good fits, and how much they tell me they're working careers that they just absolutely hate.
Sad, man.
Yeah. And
Sad.
I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, that's a whole nother thing we
Yeah.
can talk about. Okay. Let's go to number 3 with the regret, where you live. I think this is a big one because, you know, you could be born in a small little town, right? And maybe that town doesn't evolve or grow. And, you know, you're just surrounded around the same thing that you only know growing up that whole entire time, right? The same people, right? They have never really left that town. They never really leveled up. They aren't really big thinkers. They're just low level thinkers, right? I think people do have regret with that. Mm-hmm. I think it's key that you go and experience different places to live, whether it's in the States or whether it's, you know, overseas. Mm-hmm. I really do, because you can learn so many different things, you know, from living different places culturally, just all these different things, guys, you know. And Eric and I have lived in a lot of different places. We've moved a lot, and I don't regret that. I really don't, because it's hard for me to stay in one spot. I can't picture myself somewhere for like 20, 30 years. It's hard. Maybe Frisco though now, but we'll see. You know, the experience that I got to live, you know, being 15 minutes away from San Francisco, living, you know, our hometown, Santa Rosa, right? Being able to live in Los Angeles, right? Whether it was downtown LA, whether it was Orange County, right? And now being able to live in, like, you know, Dallas, Texas. Mm-hmm. I would never regret any of it. And I think it's important, guys, that you really figure out, like, where is it you truly want to live? Because I think it does, you know, I think where you live is a reflection or a correlation with your happiness. I really do. And it could be the weather. It could be the pace of life. It could be, you know, your surroundings of what you have access to, right? Whether it's business, entrepreneurial, whether it's just alignments, you know, family of choice. I think it plays a huge role. I really do, where you live. Okay.
I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, dude, come on. I was literally watching this video, watching this interview, and you literally just pop up on the screen and interrupt it. Trust me, there's a good reason for this. Just hold on, and I'm gonna let you get back to that interview or that video. Trust me, all right? So the reason why I stopped you on this is because we're giving away our book 100% free. Okay, so if you're a frustrated fitness professional, you're not growing fast enough, you're looking to future-proof and recession-proof your business by adding online training, or if you're doing online training, you want to scale and grow faster, all you have to do is check out our new book. We're giving the audio away, we're giving the PDF away, so all you have to do is click the link below in the description box and get your free copy, all right? So now, back to the video.
I couldn't agree more. And I think that too, like, comes down to perspective and stuff too, because, you know, it's dose dependent. You know, some people may be like, oh, well, Chris, Eric, that's not really me, like, to go move around and stuff. And that's okay. I respect that, you know, but just like, we're telling you like kind of our view on this and our perspective, and you don't have to agree with everything we say here. You know, we're just shedding some light. But even too, for example, when we moved here to Dallas 3 years ago, I mean, that was hard. That was scary as heck, guys. Like, I've been here once before that, and like a couple of years before, and I had never been to Texas. Like, I had a very negative, like, perception on Texas, you know, and I know a lot of people have that in different places around the world. But until you actually go there and experience it and live there, like, you can't really judge a place you can't judge the book by its cover. And, you know, it was hard to pick up and just like go to an unknown territory, a different culture.
That's growth though, man.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah. So it's like, I'm very grateful and glad that I did that, because I wouldn't be the person I am today, and where I know I'm going and who I need to become. That's because I had the courage to do that and go, like, take that risk and live in the unknown.
There you go. So I don't think it's perspective. I think it's just true what this guy says. There's studies on these 4 things, like to where you live. And I take a look even at, like, even our older brother. He hasn't even lived anywhere else besides the same street, you know, and I'd be the first to tell him that. I don't think that's healthy. I don't. I think that you need to move places, and I think you need to experience different things for the unknown, like you said, to be courageous, to be bold, and just grow. I really do. Yeah. Let's move on to number 4, though, the top regret. I want you to talk about this. You know, why do you think people would regret, though, you know, and this leading to being unhappy with their social life and relationships?
I think too, like, because like life is about relationships. It really is. It's like, you can't make life about yourself. It says that too in the Bible, endlessly, that, you know, your alignments, your relationships are so important. Community is important. Like, you need to be around other people to sit there and grow and thrive and have that love and that joy. Like, you have to. So, you know, who you spend time with, it's very important. And again, it just goes back. I could go in different ways with this, man, but like Like, let's say, like, you know, again, you grew up in a small town, right? Like, just a very complacent people, just low level thinking. You know, you are the average of the 5 people you hang out with, right? That's who you're going to become if you sit there and surround yourself with those type of relationships. It's so true. And until you break out of that, you know, that's what's really going to just, you know, take you to that next level and help you advance. So there's going to be regret, you know, with people that, you know, sit there and surround themselves with those people, and they know in the back of their head, they know in their heart that they're meant for so much better, and that this can't be it. This can't be it for their life.
Yeah.
So I think that's one form of that. But, you know, when it comes to like, to just like, you know, social life, I think too, like people don't go out and socialize enough. They don't, you know, it's either work, grind, or just like, you know, family. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But I'm telling you my perspective here, that it's like, you have to have a balance of it all. You really do. And if you don't, it's like, you're just going to be super isolated. Like, years are going to pass by, and you're going to have that regret or that what if, you know. And I'm not telling you guys to go live a YOLO life and be irresponsible,
right,
and spend all your money and do that. That is not what I'm saying. But just like, guys, like, just have a little bit of balance to your life, you know. Just do things that are uncomfortable. Go have conversations with people that you don't know. Go put a smile on someone's face. Like, just go to a random group, you know, go learn something new. I promise you, like, there's a lot of more good than bad that would come out of something like that.
Or just go do something social too. Like, go out somewhere, you know, and just like go dancing, go out somewhere. And if you want to have a drink, if you want to go out to a dinner or something like that, go somewhere to listen to some music. I mean, you know, that's part of the social life too, in my opinion, you know, that brings happiness.
Book club, host a group.
Yeah. So that, I want to talk about that first before I gave you guys the 4, you know, what is it? The 4 factors of happiness. I want to talk about the top 4 regrets, because I do think that regrets lead to unhappiness. So now that you guys know that, the top 4 regrets: who you marry, your education and career, where you live, and number 4, social life and relationships. Try to avoid, you know, making these kind of mistakes with this stuff. And I promise that you probably won't have as much regret, which thus leads to unhappiness. Okay. So now let's get into like what those big 4 factors of happiness are. Okay. Again, I don't have studies on this. This is all anecdotal, the way I live my lifestyle. Basically what I've found, you know, after 38 years of being here, with, again, all the mistakes we've made, all the mentors, all the coaches we've had, life experience, all that stuff, I find that this is what makes me happiest. Okay. Again, I'm not happy every single day. I don't expect to be happy every single day, but this is what leads to happiness and fulfills my life. Okay. And I think that the key with these 4 things I'm going to give you guys, it has to be daily focus, discipline, and consistency. You can't just be like, I'm going to do these 4 things and it's going to be easy, or I'm going to master all these things. I don't think so. Okay?
And patience and endurance.
And if you have those things, I think these 4 factors will really benefit you in your lifestyle. The very first factor with happiness that I focus on is my health. Okay? It has to start with health.
To that.
I'm surprised in that book by Daniel Pink, one of the top regrets is people not taking their health like serious enough. You have to take your health and fitness serious, okay? Because again, you're in this world for a very finite amount of time, okay? And the way, if I look at this in a biblical aspect too, that's really hit is, you know, God's given you a temple to be able to steward, right? And handle and manage. And a lot of people don't sit there and steward and manage their temples, which is their bodies, you know, to that part. And if you think about it, you know, like if you're unhealthy, how the hell are you going to last long in this life? How are you going to have endurance, you know, in business? How are you going to have endurance as a leader for your family, your friends, your loved ones, your kids? You can't. Yeah. So if you put your health and fitness in the back burner, shame on you. And if you don't like it, I don't care. Go listen to another podcast. It's going to make you guys feel good about it. So health and fitness, I feel, has been one of the biggest things that has helped me really with my mind, my body, my soul, my spirit. Like when there's times where I'm unhappy or I'm feeling frustrated, go to the damn gym, pop on some music, lift some damn weights, and boom, I'm back at it.
Yeah, but it also has such a massive carryover to your discipline, your focus, your confidence, your patience and endurance in every aspect of life, business, relationships, you name it. Like all that has a massive carryover to where people just don't understand that. And that's the downfall. That's the unfortunate part, is people see health and fitness as such a black and white thing, to where it's just like, oh, it's only flesh. It's only me living in my flesh. It's only my exterior look. And it's like, such a closed-minded way to think about it, to where it has so many, it's mind, body, soul, guys. That's what health and fitness really is when you understand it and how much of a carryover it has to your entire life.
Yep. So that's the first big factor to happiness, right?
Yeah.
Is your health and fitness. Literally take care of that shit, honestly.
Yeah.
The second thing is wealth, okay? Now, wealth can be different for everybody, the way you want to put that, right? And I'll ask you kind of what wealth is. But for me, when I think about wealth, I just think about my finances, right? And I think about just basically business. Those are the two things I kind of like put under the category of wealth. So to increase my happiness, I get to do what I love to do every single damn day. I wake up excited to do what I do, the work that we do with our coaches and building our business. Okay. So that brings a lot of, meaning and fulfillment and happiness to my life. Right. And then obviously wealth, finances. I'm not chasing money. I'm not money hungry, but I am very aware and smart enough to know that having a lot of money leads to freedom. It leads to more choices and it leads to more options for myself, for you, our family, everything. Okay. Our business, to be able to serve people at a higher level. I'm very aware of that. Yeah. So that's kind of how I categorize wealth, is big business and finances. What about you?
Yeah, I would agree with all that stuff. And you could even, I'd say too, like a form of wealth is too, is like what's the actual fruit that you have in your life, right? Like good. Relationships, are you a man of God? Like, do you have a great wife? Do you have a great, family? Do you have great like alignments? Like that's all a form of wealth that people just don't look past. Like, I don't want to just be like, it's just monetary and this and that, but that to me, that is a form of wealth. But everything you said, yes, that's 100%. And then just again, like having that financial literacy and freedom to make smart investments that are going to make you money, that are going to actually acquire true wealth, to where everything is not always such a hustle and bustle and grind, to where it's like you can make money, through appreciating assets, over time. And then you can pass those assets down to your children and family that need that. So you're creating a form of like generational wealth. Yeah. And to me, that's really important. It is. Otherwise, it's like, what are we here for? It's like we're selfishly just trying to make ourselves rich and, live this lavish life and like enjoy all these BS, like, flesh driven, what's it called? Like luxury items, like material items that have really no value and meaning toward them. So that's what I would say.
Okay. Gotcha. So that's the second big factor of happiness is wealth. Okay. Now the third big factor to happiness is alignments. So under alignments, that can mean a lot of things, guys, right? Just don't think about this as black and white. Okay. It can mean a lot of different things for you guys. I'm just giving you guys a framework of what works well for me. So alignments, that could be like your network, whether that's personal or business network, right? It could be mentors. It could be coaches, right? It could be masterminds, right? It could be your community. It could be your family. It could be your friends, your circle. It could be your family of choice. But again, I think you have to have some sort of alignments in your life to increase your happiness. Because think about what I'm just saying here. You can be that person just focus on that first factor, which is health. You can be that person that then just focuses on wealth. If you're like a master at the health and wealth, okay, then you're isolated. And you're just like, yeah, man, I got my health all like in par and stuff like that. It's at the forefront. I got my money, my finances. I'm good. I don't need anybody else. You can have that attitude. And trust me, you will be lonely. There's tons of billionaires and tons of millionaires and stories where people focus only on making money and neglected their health, or even maybe they made their health a priority and they made so much money, but they were missing relationships. They were missing family. They were missing alignments. They screw things up in that department. And that's one thing I will never do. I will not make those same mistakes because I am very aware of that, of how key alignments are, in your life to increase your happiness.
Yeah, I agree. Not much I can add to that.
Yeah. The fourth factor is basically meaning. Okay. So meaning to me is like the impact. It's basically the type of work that you do that really fulfills you. Okay. So to increase your happiness, man, if you're not doing meaningful work that's like literally leaving like impact and having you fulfilled on a day-to-day basis, you're not going to be happy. And we talked about this before, that people are working careers and jobs that they fucking hate. Yeah. They fucking hate it. I'm sorry to cuss, but it's the damn truth. Right. And I hear a lot of stories, man, and a lot of excuses where it's like, well, you just don't get it, or it's because of the family situation and all this different stuff. But you know what? Don't give me this damn excuse that you can't build a 6 to 12 month, runway to get yourself out of that shit. Okay. Don't give me that. I don't want to hear it. So it's just excuses. So the meaning, you have to have meaning in your day-to-day life to be happy. You have to be creating some sort of impact, some sort of fulfillment with like your career, your job, or if it's a business or you're an entrepreneur, you have to have that, because you could have your health, you can have your wealth, you can have alignments, but damn, every single day, if you hate the damn work you're doing for 40 to 60 hours a week, That's a huge chunk of your time. No wonder you're going to be unhappy. No wonder you're going to have the regret factor. So figure it out now. Like, how do I get myself out of this job or this career I fucking hate in 6 to 12 months and start doing some meaningful, impactful work that's going to leave you fulfilled and thus have you happy?
Yeah.
I mean, damn, dude, you know,
I could just feel the intensity when Chris is talking here, guys, like in person.
it's just, I see it all the time, and I don't understand it, man.
Yeah. And you're 100% spot on, man. Like, I agree with you. There's not much I could say that, but it's like what I said earlier in one of the other podcasts, where it's like the best piece of advice we've gotten was just like, again, like, and I might butcher it, like the quote, but it's just like people settle to be, people are not like becoming the true, like, you know, great people they should be. It's like they're settling for who they are. And it's a shame. It's a shame because, you know, I know most people they have a desire to sit there and have more meaning and impact and purpose in their life. How could you not, you know? And the sad part is, like, nothing is done about it. There's no actions, you know, and it's just everything you said. Like, I don't get it. You know, every day, like, you control your thoughts, your attitude, and your guys' actions around that, to where no one's saying to do this overnight. But it's like what Chris said, like, if you can't, like, make a 6 to 12 month, like, runway to get yourself out of a certain situation, like, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. And there's a story that you're constantly telling yourself in your head.
Exactly.
And you're just playing the victim role. Yep. Like, that's all you're doing.
100%. Spot on. It's a story you keep telling yourself, and good luck with that. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
So just to recap this, I know it was a lot, but again, just avoid the top 4, you know, regrets by Daniel Pink: who you marry, your career, education, where you live, social life, relationships. And again, the big 4 factors of happiness that I feel that I really like look to fill up those buckets. It's health, it's wealth, it's alignments, and meaning. So hopefully you guys found this valuable.
Yeah, that was really good. So we'll land the plane there, guys. And again, like, if you're a health and fitness coach, we'll always end the podcast like this. Like, if you feel like you need more help in one of these areas, and especially more of like the meaning and purpose area of really maximizing your true God-given potential, and you know you guys can help people as coaches and serve people, then guys, take us up on a free 15-minute brainstorming call. It's loose. We're not going to interrogate you. Like, we're just going to ask questions and just see, like, how we can best help and serve you and instill some confidence, certainty, and belief in you. So click the link below in the show notes and book in that call. But other than that, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in with your guys' eyes, your ears, and all the constant support. So go out there, you know, create some more happiness. Understand that it's not going to be an everyday thing, but just play the long game with it. And I'm sure you guys will be all right. But we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
All right. The first one is take advantage of our free book right here. That's on us. The second thing is watch this free training right here. 6 new ways to build a 6-figure health and fitness coaching business right here.